State calls analyst Meghann McMahon.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
If you could please be seated, state and spell your name for the record.
My name is Meghann McMahon. My first name is Meghann. My last name is Mcmahon.
How are you employed?
I'm employed as a trace evidence analyst at the State Crime Lab in Milwaukee.
What does that mean?
So trace evidence encompasses a variety of types of evidence submitted. It can include the analysis of glass, fibers, paint, general unknowns, and in this case, I analyzed evidence submitted for fire debris as well as physical fit.
What is physical fit?
Physical fit is the analysis of items that are broken to determine if they could fit together to form one contiguous piece.
Can you describe what your training, experience, and education is that allows you to work in this capacity?
So I have a Bachelor's of Science in Spanish from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and I have a Master's of Science in Forensic Science from John Jay College of Criminal Justice. In addition to my education at the laboratory, I completed an in-house training program for both fire debris and physical fit. In general, those training programs encompass readings, lectures, hands-on exercises, and culminate in what is called a competency test, which is essentially a mock case.
How long have you worked in your capacity at the crime lab?
I've been at the lab in Milwaukee since 2015.
In your capacity at the crime lab, when you analyze something, you document it through a report, correct?
Yes.
Showing you what's been marked exhibit number 438. Can you identify what that is?
Exhibit 438 is a copy of the laboratory report that I issued on May 16th, 2024 for laboratory case R24-952.
I'd ask that exhibit 438 be received. Any objection?
No.
It's received. And what does that report document?
So this report is a report of my analysis for item BD that was submitted to the laboratory for fire debris analysis.
What was item BD?
Item BD was one sealed paper bag that contained one gallon can that had burned debris in it that was reportedly recovered from a vehicle.
The number or lettering system, BD, is that how your lab keeps track of things?
Yes, when evidence is submitted to the laboratory, it's given a laboratory item designator. So we start at A and continue on until all the evidence for a case has been submitted.
Handing you what's been previously received as exhibit number 52. What is that?
So exhibit 52 is laboratory item BD for case R24-952, and I can tell that by this yellow sticker that's on the bag.
So exhibit number 52 is the item that you analyzed and subsequently documented that analysis in report with the exhibit 438 sticker on it.
That is correct.
Okay. Can you describe what you did upon receiving item BD or exhibit 52?
Yes, so I first would open up the bag, open up the can, do a visual exam of what's inside of the can. In this case, I couldn't determine what was inside the can, so I called it burned debris. After that, I take a charcoal strip and I suspend it inside of the can, put the lid back on the can, and then I put the can in an oven. So what happens when the can is in the oven is anything that's volatile or will go into like a gaseous state, we'll do that and it will adhere into that strip that I suspended inside of the can. The cans stay in the oven overnight for approximately 16 hours. After the 16 hours is up, I take the can out of the oven, I take the strip out of the can, and I put the strip into a small vial. Into that vial, I add a little bit of solvent or liquid. And what happens is anything that was stuck onto that strip that was in the can will then dissolve into that liquid. I then take the liquid and I analyze it on an instrument called a gas chromatograph mass spectrometer. And the data that I get from the sample that was analyzed on, I analyzed on the instrument, I compare to a reference that was also run on the instrument under the same conditions in order to come to a conclusion if an ignitable liquid is present or not. So in this case, I was able to conclude that a medium petroleum distillate was present in item BD.
What is a petroleum distillate?
So petroleum distillate is one class of ignitable liquids. Ignitable liquids are classified rather than identified because there can be, because manufacturers market the ignitable liquids to their end use. For example, medium petroleum distillate could be the same liquid, but it's marketed as a paint thinner or as a charcoal lighter fluid. So for ignitable liquid analysis, we classify them as opposed to identify them.
Are there other classifications of petroleum distillates?
There are light, medium, and heavy petroleum distillates.
What are some examples of a light petroleum distillate?
A light petroleum distillate could be charcoal lighter fluid. It could be say like a lighter fluid that you would use to light a cigarette. Compounds that are smaller than what would be a medium petroleum distillate.
What's a heavy petroleum distillate?
So a heavy petroleum distillate, something like that would be diesel fuel or kerosene.
What about regular gasoline?
Gasoline is its own classification.
And is it just gas or gasoline is its own classification, or is there a title for it? It's not?
It's gasoline.
Okay. Items like paint thinner and lighter fluid have smells to them typically in your experience?
I would say that petroleum distillates have a smell. I don't know what, in general, when I receive liquid as an item of evidence, I don't know where it's coming from, so I couldn't tell you if it was a paint thinner or a charcoal lighter fluid, but it does have a smell.
Did you note any odor from exhibit number 52, item number BD?
Because it was debris, I did not smell it.
Petroleum distillates, including medium petroleum distillates, are ignitable liquids, correct?
Yes.
And what would ignite a liquid such as a medium petroleum distillate?
A flame?
Okay, a flame from anywhere?
Yes.
Okay, so a flame from a match?
A match, a lighter.
Okay, in addition to doing the ignitable liquid analysis, what else did you do as it relates to this case?
I also received broken pieces with the request to determine if a physical fit was present between these pieces and a vehicle that was submitted.
What was the vehicle that was submitted?
I'd have to refer to my report.
You drafted a report?
Yes.
Showing you what's been marked exhibit 437. What is this?
Thank you. Exhibit 437 is a copy of the laboratory report that I authored on May 10th, 2024 for case R24952.
Does that document what vehicle you received?
Yes, I received a Honda Civic, Wisconsin license plate ASP-1171.
And does that actually physically come to you at the lab?
Yes.
Who did you receive that from? What agency?
It would have been received by our evidence technician, so I'm not sure what agency submitted it.
Does the vehicle itself receive an item number?
Yes.
What item number was the Honda Civic?
The vehicle was item BQ.
What else did you receive?
So I received items BR through BV, through BV, and those were all broken pieces that were submitted.
I'd ask that Exhibit 437 be received.
Any objection?
No.
437 is received.
Showing you what have already been received into evidence. I'll show you first Exhibit 28, 29, and 30, if you can identify what those are, if you've seen them before.
So Exhibit 28 is item BR for case R24952, and again, it has the yellow label that's put on at the laboratory.
And what is item BR?
Item BR was a broken mirror that was submitted. Exhibit 29 is item BS for laboratory case R24952, and item BS was a piece of broken black plastic. And then Exhibit 30 was received as laboratory item BT for case R24952. There were 5 pieces of broken black plastic that are inside here. So when I did my analysis, I sub-designated them as items BT1 through BT5.
And what about Exhibits 31 and 32?
Thank you. So Exhibit 31 is laboratory item BU for case R24952. And this is a piece of broken black and silver plastic. And then Exhibit 32 is item BV for case R24952. This had 8 pieces of broken plastic inside, so during my analysis, I sub-designated them BV1 through BV8.
Why don't you start with item BR and walk us through what your analysis entailed?
So in general, with my analysis, what I'm first going to do is open up the broken pieces that were submitted, and I'm going to do a visual exam and a microscopic exam of those pieces and document what I observe. Then, if there are any of those pieces that look like they would fit together to each other, I would do that physical fit at that time. After I'm done with all of that, then I took all of the pieces and I went to the vehicle, which is in a different part of the laboratory, and I attempted to do a physical fit from the pieces to the vehicle. So there were 3 pieces that I was able to physically fit back to the vehicle.
And just as a preliminary question, to physically fit something together, does an item have to be broken?
Yes.
So if a piece of a car falls off but isn't broken, can you conclusively say that it comes from that car?
No. So in general, that conclusion might be something like detached but not broken from the vehicle. There might not be anything broken for a physical fit analysis to be attempted.
So it's fair to say that you're looking at how an item fragments when it's broken?
I'm comparing broken pieces to broken areas on the vehicle.
Okay, you said that there were 3 items that you were able to fit.
Yes.
What were those?
So I was able to fit item BT3, which was broken black plastic, to the vehicle, the front grille area. I was able to fit item BS, which was a broken piece of the license plate holder, to the license plate holder that was on the vehicle. And then item BU, which was broken black and silver plastic, to the passenger side fog light area on the vehicle.
What about the other items?
So items BV3 through BV8, so submitted broken pieces, I was able to fit back together to each other, but that piece, there was nothing broken on the vehicle for me to attempt a physical fit for that. The same thing with item BV1 and BV2. There wasn't anything broken on the vehicle for me to attempt a physical fit. And then items BR, BT1 and 2, 4 and 5, there was no physical fit attempted. So the vehicle was damaged, it was burned. So for safety reasons, we didn't want to put it up on a lift. And the pieces that were not attempted appear to be interior pieces. So there was no more analysis done.
BV3 through BV8 are described as pieces of black glossy plastic, correct?
Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but your findings were that all of those pieces fit together, correct?
Yes.
On the Honda Civic, item BQ, was there a part that was missing in the area where those items BV3 and BV8 would have fit?
So I was able to use that conclusion, detached but not broken, for the one contiguous piece that BV3 through BV8 formed. But again, there wasn't anything broken on the vehicle for me to do a physical fit for that.
Was there an area of the Honda Civic that was missing a piece consistent with what you put together for BV3 through BV8?
There wasn't anything there, but again, it wasn't, there wasn't anything broken on the vehicle.
Okay.
So it appeared as though, again, that piece fit in there, but I'm not able to do any more analysis in the sense of I can't say there's a physical fit because there was nothing broken for me to try to attempt to do a physical fit on.
And so that's where you come to the conclusion that it appeared to be detached.
Yes.
What about items B1 and BV2 that you described? Did you come to the conclusion that those items, when put together, appeared to have been detached from the Honda Civic?
Yes, it would be the same conclusion. BV1 and BV2 both appeared detached but not broken from the vehicle.
And again, that the area where BV1 and BV2 appeared to have been detached, there was the Honda Civic missing that particular piece?
The piece wasn't there, but I couldn't make a conclusion as far as if BV1 and BV2 were the pieces that belonged to the vehicle.
But the Honda Civic was missing that particular piece?
The pieces were not there, yes.
I don't have anything further. Cross?
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So one part of your role in this investigation was to test some burn materials, correct?
Yes.
And did they arrive to you in like the big gallon bucket or 5-gallon bucket?
They arrived in a gallon can that was in this paper bag.
Okay. And when you're doing your testing, you're doing it at your lab, correct?
Yes.
And you said you didn't like smell the odor of the fragments or the burned materials, correct? Because you do like some sort of testing and you're able to determine that there's a petroleum distillate, correct?
In general, the only items that would be smelled would be liquids that are submitted. So because this was burned debris, I did not smell it.
But you have like instruments that tell you that it's petroleum distillate, correct?
Yes, the gas chromatograph mass spectrometer.
And can that determine whether something has like, I think they said a light, a medium?
Yes,
Okay. And you were able to come to the conclusion that, you know, this burn material it was ignited by like lighter fluid or paint thinner. Those are contained in petroleum distillate, correct?
I was able to conclude that a medium petroleum distillate is present. There are lighter fluids and paint thinners that would be classified as a medium petroleum distillate, but there also are paint thinners and lighter fluids that might not be, which is why it's just a medium petroleum distillate.
Those are just common examples, right?
Yes,
And like lighter fluid and painter fluid, those are things people can purchase at like a hardware store, correct?
I would imagine so, yes.
Like a Home Depot, a Lowe's, an Ace Hardware, something like that.
I would think so, yes.
And then the other part of your investigation was to kind of, I mean, I'm just speaking in layman's terms here, you get pieces of what might belong to a car and you determine if you can draw that conclusion, if these pieces came from that car.
The pieces have to be broken in order to do the physical fit analysis. So what I'm determining is if the broken pieces would fit to a broken area on the vehicle.
And your conclusion was that these broken pieces belong to this Honda Civic, correct?
3 of the pieces physically fit back to the vehicle.
All right, I have nothing further.
State? Nothing. Thank you.
Thank you.